What's up, guys? We are back again.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome.
Welcome.
The Deep Think and Dusty Neal show.
Yeah, Deep Think and Dusty Neal show. So we've got a few subjects today that we're going to be discussing. So it's a pretty sad subject we're going to talk about first. That was something that happened, I guess, 2 days ago now?
What date was it?
I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday at 1 o'clock in the morning. So it was yesterday. So, yeah. So in Baltimore, in Maryland, they had a bridge that that got hit by a big, what is it? What are those?
An ocean liner.
An ocean liner. So
Cargo ship.
Yeah, cargo ship. So what happened, and we'll show you the footage in just a second, is the cargo ship had just come from the bay, pulling out, and suddenly lost power, which lost control. You know, I was thinking about this. They lost control of their rudder. Don't they have an emergency way to turn the rudder without having power?
They said that the reason that their lights were flickering on and off is because their backup generator kicked on, but that only allowed them to have lights. It didn't actually give them back full control of the ship.
Okay, so, my question still is the same, is why don't they have a hand control hydraulic system that turns that damn rudder?
Do you know how big that ship is?
Oh, it's huge.
It is gigantic.
But I mean, wouldn't they have
and
some
it has
kind of
tons and tons of shipping containers on it?
Well, how about this? How about they have a propane powered system that takes over the rudders when they have no more electricity?
That could work.
Yeah.
That would be a
just hit the button.
idea.
They hit the button. They have a spark button. You know those propane things when you're using a propane generator on your RVs?
Mm-hmm.
Have the same thing. Power in just that area. Rudders are back into service.
Right.
Yeah. So
or just have a hydraulic system or a pneumatic system, actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have pressurized air.
You're all right. Okay, turn it. You know, I think we got about maybe an inch. Yeah, I could see that happening. It's not like the old submarine days back in when the submarines first came out. When did the submarines come out?
I have no idea.
Weren't they not like?
You'd have to look that up.
Weren't they like the first submarines not gasoline powered? They were just weren't they steam?
I don't believe so.
No, not steam. Who knows? So, yeah. So in this. In the bay, basically, they were pulling out from the bay. They lost power, which gave them no more control to their rudders or anything. And you can see in this video, and as we pop it up, you can see in this video that their lights flicker on and off before they actually hit the what is it called? The Francis Scott Key Bridge. That has been around since 1974 to 1977 is when it was built, right? When they started out in 1974 to 1977.
Yep.
So, yeah, let's pull up that footage and take a look at it. So we're going to go to this footage first. Go to interact. Let's go ahead and pull this over so we can get this right. So...
Pull the...
Yeah, I'm not pulling the screen out yet. I'm getting it ready, bro. Okay, so, all right. Here we go. Now I'm going to pull this over for you guys to see. But as you see up here, check this out. So as you see, the ship is right here. And it's about to hit the bridge. You'll see a splash happen as they hit the bridge. And the whole bridge collapses.
Yep. Well, there's small sections on either side that stayed up, but basically the entire part of the suspension bridge collapsed because once one area twists or gets in the wrong orientation, basically the whole thing is held up by tension,
Yes.
and once you lose that, the whole thing will break down.
We'll pull this bigger real fast and rewind it one more time so you guys can see exactly what happened here. So you see the boat coming up. You'll see the lights flicker.
And they have actually called in a mayday signal in an attempt to get them to close the bridge.
Yeah, and some people got killed, of course. There's 6 people. Well, you can see them right here. There's vehicles parked on the bridge that they're working on the construction. So cars are still passing over at this time, but you can see the lights went out inside the boat. So I'll make sure my arrow is out of the way. I remember we were watching this other video about this, and this guy kept putting the arrow right over the area.
Yeah,
Get that arrow out of the way.
that was annoying.
So as you see, all these cars right there are basically you'll see the traffic flow suddenly stop. The lights are still off on the ship at this point, and they're trying to get them back on. You'll see the diesel engines start up again because you'll see smoke come out of the top of the ship as it goes. Let me see if I can push this forward a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So you can see this smoke up here. It's coming out, and yeah, they hit it, and then their lights go out again. But the people that were on the bridge, the construction people, they fell, unfortunately. God bless their souls and their family, by the way. They all fell into the water, and they passed away. So,
Well, there were actually 8 people,
oh, there were 8 people.
and they were able to save 2.
Oh, so they saved 2, and then, yeah, that just sucks, man. Imagine being a construction worker up on this bridge, and, yeah, you're just, oh, wow, this bridge is so awesome, and I love working on this bridge, and then,
Yep.
yeah, not a very good ordeal. It sucks, and my heart and Deep Think's heart goes out to the family for
Most
that,
certainly.
for those lost people. So they will be missed. So yeah, that happened in Baltimore, so Maryland. So let's talk about what can they do to put safety precautions on this. To what can they do? You know, what can they do to make the bridge better? To make sure something like that doesn't happen again. What do you think, Deep Think? What do you think they should do?
The thing is that those ships are so heavy and they have so much mass behind them that any type of thing that they had sunk into the riverbed could easily get pushed out of the way.
Yeah.
Those bridges were not built to take impacts like whatsoever.
Well, I don't think they had ship liners like that back in the 70s, or did they? Did they have cargo ships back then that were huge like that?
No, not that huge.
Not that
Cargo
big.
ships have been getting bigger and bigger over time, and that bridge did not. When they built it, they had no concept of how big these cargo ships would be getting.
I know.
I think that probably one of the best situations would be to have basically when you pass under the bridge, you get tugged. You have tugboats bring you
Yeah.
through.
Exactly. You think they should have maybe tugboats on watch all the time for the ships passing through from now on, just in case something like that happens again?
Yeah, I think so. It would be well worth it.
Well, let's think about the what they could have done to get those. My question is, why weren't those 8 workers that were on the bridge notified immediately? Because as you see the cars going over the bridge, right? But you don't see the workers that have all their little lights on and stuff like that. You do not see them move.
Right.
So
And we don't have any audio from that, but I don't know if the ship was like blaring its horn or anything, but that
Yeah.
would have been a smart idea.
well, I
If
mean,
they weren't.
we did read that they did Mayday call in to stop traffic. I mean, at that point, you would think that the 8 guys would get the Mayday call immediately within seconds. Like, guys, get off the bridge.
Right.
Get off of there right now. I don't care. Get in the trucks. Leave some of your cars there. Jump in the back of the truck. Let's rock and roll. And let's get off the bridge and haul butt. So I'm wondering about, I mean, do you think that's probably going to be brought up in the court case for the boat hitting? I mean, it's obvious that it was an accident. It was an accident. But at the same time, now they're going to bring up other things. Why weren't those 8 people notified? Why did they not get off the bridge?
Right.
So
there was an ample amount of time.
There was plenty of
was
time.
Just drifting towards the bridge.
I know there was plenty of time, and you can see within like a couple of minutes, you can see no traffic on the bridge whatsoever. Just no traffic. In that time, those guys should have been out of there. So what I'm thinking is the contractors that hired them to be on the bridge did not go over safety precautions.
That's quite possible.
Did not put them with receivers and mics extra. I mean, isn't that an OSHA thing?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's it's just really sad that 8 people had to pass away because of an accident. 6 people. You'll see a lot of corrections on this. That's what he's there for, to correct me, Correct me when I'm wrong.
You got to keep our facts straight.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's pretty sad. It's a pretty sad moment. And like we said, our hearts go out to those people. So the next thing I want to talk about is, I've been watching a lot of drone shows. Have you seen those drone shows?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, they're amazing. They had one in...
Although I think the segue is because we've got the drone footage of the aftermath of the bridge, right?
Oh, that's right. We do have the drone footage of the aftermath of the bridge. Oh, yes, we do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what Deep Think is all about. So here we go. So here is the drone footage of the actual bridge. And let's pull this back. Here we go. I'm going to set this on play. Pull this over so you guys can see this. So here is the drone footage of the aftermath of the bridge. Thank you for reminding me.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I do that. I'm forgetful. Sorry. But you can see the destruction of the bridge and you're right, there were pieces of the bridge still left on each side, but oh man.
Yeah, and in this footage we can see how absolutely gigantic this boat is.
Oh, is there a boat? Oh, okay. Will it show where the boat's at right now? Oh, yeah. There's the boat. I can see it coming up.
Yep.
God, it's going to get to the area. I'm just thinking about where those people passed away at. My heart goes out. Wow. Look how big that boat is. That is crazy.
And that is going to take a long time.
You know what? I've got an idea. Around the barriers, I'm going to put my finger here so people can see it underneath the screen there. Around those barriers, why don't they make an area that literally boosts the ships into place when they go underneath if they get off course? In other words, build barriers around the actual, what are those called? The stabilizers underneath the bridge. Build barriers that the ships can run into that are strong enough to withhold a ship hitting those barriers. And it'll kind of push the ship, kind of at a diagonal way. So it kind of pushes the ship right into there.
Right.
If the ship ever has problems. So it won't take out the bridge, but it'll just scoot along the track and follow the track underneath the bridge.
Right.
That's if they ever get off course. Most ships will be right on course right through. They won't need that.
Or a bridge version of those big balls that they put in front of Target, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Or like, when a diesel's running down the hill, they've got the sand traps. In Colorado, they've got those big sand traps that are basically when you lose your brakes, you hit into the sand traps. Well, that's safety precautions for diesels. Well, they need a safety precaution for these big boats.
Yeah. So you can kind of see here how the ship didn't hit it directly. It just kind of skimmed the side of it, and that was enough
See, that's what I
to
was
sort
saying.
of push it over, and then that
Yeah,
like the tension just like it rocked over, and the whole thing just fell apart.
exactly. Yep.
But yeah,
It's just sad.
that is a lot of shipping containers.
That is an old bridge. I mean, it looked like it was well maintained and painted. It didn't have any rust on it. Looks pretty good, but yeah, that's just it's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was the governor or the mayor or governor of the state declared a emergency of the state or something like that. Because you got to think of all the traffic that's going to be caused, because I think this is one of the main bridges to cross over to be able to get to the other side. So traffic is definitely going to go to a slow, and they're going to have to direct all the traffic to another bridge, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
think there's also another way. That has
State
a
of
tunnel.
emergency,
They
that's what
built
it
the
is.
bridge originally because the traffic was getting too heavy to just accommodate everybody that needed to cross. So they built the bridge.
You don't think people are going to make up conspiracy theories of this was hit on purpose, do you?
Oh yes, it's already started.
Oh, wow. Everybody always has to troll something.
Well,
But at the same time, that's how you figure stuff out if something really did happen, right?
Right.
They
but
give enough ideas to the table.
I think it's only natural for people to jump to that conclusion in this case because it is highly similar in a lot of ways to the 9/11 tragedy, where
Well, I mean, that's another thing that touches my heart because I was actually there, and I saw the destruction and everything that happened. So it was
right.
pretty
But you
sad.
have like a transport running into like a large piece of infrastructure.
Yeah.
Pretty like very similar type of idea.
Yeah.
And we think like, was the boat hacked?
How many stories
the boat
was
taken
the
over?
Twin Towers?
I do not know, but
I think
a
they were
lot.
they were pretty tall, and
They
they
were very
hit.
tall.
Yeah.
But honestly, I do not think that this was an act of terrorism or
So you think this was
intended in any way.
pretty much truly an accident? So they do have. I see they do have barriers placed in the water. See that one barrier?
I'm not sure if that's a
Is that a
permanent
barrier?
or if that's something they brought in after the fact.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, another thing to add to the history books, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that's sad moment, guys. Sad moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll pull that footage off, and we will start another subject.
So about those drones.
About those drones. So the drones have gotten pretty freaking amazing these days.
Yeah, they have. It is pretty incredible and actually a little frightening at the same time.
Yeah, like the drone shows at like in Dubai. I think it was last year at the Dubai World Cup. They had some really. You guys should look it up. I wish we had footage of that. But you guys should look it up. It's really amazing what they can do with drones. I mean, the lights. I mean, they made horses run across the sky. They made visuals of a whale coming up, and then there was water up here, and it came out of the water like this, and it came down and splashed. I mean, it was really amazing.
Yeah, I think we also saw a video of the drones flying along, and they actually had fireworks attached to them.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
So they were like,
an actual real
They were letting
like
them all
fireworks drone show,
yeah.
which is pretty incredible.
Heck yeah. So, anywho, so let me tell you a really crazy story that happened to me today.
What happened to you?
Well, I went to go help a friend with his house, and I really never been over. It was his mother's old house. And I went to go help a friend, and he said, "Hey, can you meet me over here at a certain time?" I was supposed to be there around 1 o'clock. So I get there like 15 minutes early. And I knock at the door, and and I have no idea if his mom still lives there. I have no idea what's happened, or if anybody, I have no idea basically at this point. So I hear someone walk up to the door, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hear someone, footsteps, boom, 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 and then I see the door pressed in towards me. You know how you have weather stripping? If you press on a door, it'll kind of pinch a little bit when you press. Yep. It pinched, and then I heard a creak because I could tell the person's face was against the eye hole on the door. And then I just kind of waved. I said, "Open the door, dude." And then I saw the door release, and then I heard do, 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 do. Walked away. I was like, darn it, let me call this fool. I was like, what the heck, dude? Came all the way over here, and you're like ignoring me. So I called. I said, "Dude, I'm at your door, man. I saw you look out the eye hole." He goes, "Dude, there's no one there. There's no one living there." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, the whole house is empty. I've got to clean it out and put it up for sale." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "What the heck?" So, yeah, I was like freaking out. So I wait for him to get there. I'm looking around the back of the house, thinking that the house, think there was someone in the house going out the back door. So I keep circling the house to make sure that there is nobody in the house. And then he pulls up in the driveway, still no one in the house. And then he opens up the door. We walk in and we look around. All the doors were completely locked. All the doors were. And then I go, "Dude, there's no one in the house at all." And I was like, "Where's your mom at?" She goes, "Oh, she actually passed away a few years ago in the house." And I was like, "Oh." And he goes, "Well, that's not really the issue. We've been having problems with the house way before, because before my mom moved in, there were sounds and stuff in the house. And when I lived here, there were like," what are you doing, Deep Think? Oh, God. Dang, Deep Think.
Gotcha.
Got me. Ghosty, ghosty, ghosty. Woo. So, yeah. So I was, you're hilarious. So I didn't even notice you. I was just like talking along. So yeah, I asked him about the house, and he had said that his sister, every single time she goes to the house, she gets the jeebie-weebies, or what are they called? The
heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-jeebies. And she doesn't like going to the house. And then even before that, he was talking about, I can't even. You're hilarious. So it's just every time you look around. So I can't even focus. So the sister got the heebie-jeebies, and then also he told me a story when he was sleeping down in the basement. There's a room down in the basement, and outside of his room is where a pool table was. So he, every time I look at you, I can tell. So there was a pool table outside, and he said he was laying down. He turned out his light, and he was about to go to sleep, and he heard the pool balls in the basement moving around, hitting and stuff like that. I can't even focus, guys. Deep face, come on.
Deep face.
Deep face. So deep think. I keep thinking about your face, dude. Oh my God. You're hilarious, Deep Think. He has all the faces, let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
Deep face. No. Deep Think. So he basically looked underneath the door. Don't look over here again. You're gonna crack me up. So he looks underneath the door, and there's no lights in the other room, and he could still hear the pool balls. So he opens the door up, and it's totally dark in the room. He turns on the lights, and guess what?
Nobody's there.
The triangle that holds the pool balls, all the pool balls were sitting in the triangle.
Mm.
None of the pool balls had moved whatsoever.
I'm. That's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, and there's instances of before his mom moved in that people complained of footsteps in the house.
In the attic?
No. When they were downstairs, I think it was his sister. No, it's not his sister. The other people that lived there said they were downstairs and they had a roommate, and the roommate thought that they were home, and because they could hear footsteps upstairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same way I've heard footsteps at the door, thump, 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 right? So, so she walked upstairs, and again, no one's home, totally dark. Dude, that is creepy. That's like, wow.
Creepy.
I bet, my friend said, dude, you're just going to walk right in, huh? I was like, I'm not afraid of ghosts.
Maybe you should be.
Whoa. Maybe today, maybe the ghost came home with me.
All right.
He's sitting right beside me.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You're hilarious, Deep Thing.
Yeah, you were telling me that you always wanted to experience a supernatural event.
I wanted to experience a supernatural event. I did. And guess what, guys? I got my first one. And it was real because there was no one in the house. I heard the thump. I wish I would have had my phone with me. Well, I had my phone with me, but I guess I was like so really thinking about someone had broken into his house and someone was sleeping in his house that I was thinking of that first. But once I got the proof, because trust me, you know me, Deep Think. When I want to prove something, I'll go the extent to make sure I know the boundaries. I know everything about the situation just to make sure I got the facts straight. And I got the facts straight on that dang house. And it was scary. I was like, I wasn't scared, but I was just like, did that just happen? Did I really experience a ghost finally?
Are you sure it wasn't a squatter?
I was thinking that, but no, that's why I went on his porch. I walked, because I walked around his house because I was see if I can get in another way. And I looked around, everything was locked. I kept walking around. I was like, I'm going to make sure there's nobody going to run out. And when right when I took that turn, he got here. He got out of his car, ran up and unlocked the door, and we went in immediately. There was no doors unlocked. There was double locked doors. There was a patio door that's locks from the inside. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then he had a sunroom, and that patio door locks from the inside. All the windows were locked. There were screens, and there's storm windows on the house. Storm windows open from the inside. You got to open the storm window up first, and then open the second window up. So the whole house was completely sealed, and the basement windows have covers all over them. So you tell me how that squatter got out of that house.
Maybe he was still inside.
Oh, no. He was squatting.
I've seen videos of like people who are like, there's a ghost in my house. I know it. They put up a camera. Turns out there's somebody who's like living in their vents who comes out at night and eats food out of their fridge.
We're not trying to scare you guys, by the way. Just, you might want to check your house out for squatters.
Right? I mean, and like they just spend their whole day lying in that tiny little vent, waiting for everybody to go to sleep. They come out and eat your food. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think that's more scary to me than a ghost.
I don't know.
That, like, there might be somebody like living above me without me even knowing it.
Now watch all of our subscribers. They're going to be like, honey, can we go check the vents? Is there any way we can get up in those vents? Hun, those are ducts. They're all screwed in by the outside. There's covers over them. I mean, they can only crawl so far. They're going to drop into the heater or the air conditioner, and then, maybe, not the heater or the air conditioner, because the air conditioner just blows and then it comes up. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking around going, I don't know how someone would live inside of a vent that's this big in a house. Now, I could see a mansion. Mm-hmm. I mean, what's that movie where the guy lived in the walls for years?
I don't know.
Oh, God. I saw it.
The Cask of Monte Cristo?
It might be. Was that it?
No.
Oh, okay. No, that's like a sword movie, right?
That's an old horror, like kind of a book about a guy who gets his revenge by bricking a guy into a wall and leaving him there to die.
Alive?
Alive. Yep.
God, could you
Buried
imagine
alive
that?
story.
You suddenly break open the brick wall one day because you're renovating the house that you bought, and you see a skeleton lying there,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like scratches all over the brick of trying to get out, and you
Yeah.
see pieces of fingernail like on the
Ooh.
ground because he had dug his finger. Joking.
Getting a little
Oh,
graphic there.
I got the best story for you guys when it comes to ghost stories, or not ghost stories, but camping stories.
Mm.
Okay, so I had a brother that passed away. He was my camping buddy. Love you, bro. So we went to Yellowstone National Park one time, and we had my nephew with us, and we were inside of a tent, in which we had a fun time. We always called it Club Tent because we take the flashlights and we'd play the music and we'd turn them on and off. Be like Club Tent, Club Tent.
Nice.
And then we would end with like watching Dumb and Dumber on the DVD. It was awesome. So one night we're in Yellowstone National Park, and we just got in. We put all of our food in our bear boxes and everything because that's what you got to do. Because the bears will come in and grab your food and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So we started to elaborate on that, and my brother started telling this story about this family that came in, and they camped just around like the corner from us, and they put their tents down, and they hadn't properly put their food in the bear box.
Mm.
Yeah, so this big bear came in. He started getting into their food, but also smelt more food because the kid actually had a backpack and he had candy inside of his backpack.
Ooh, bad idea.
Yes. So and you got to imagine my brother's telling this story, okay? And we have people that are camped next to us in their tents, okay? And I mean, they're probably 15 feet away. So, and tents do not, even though you've got cover over you, you can still hear everything that a person's saying inside the tent.
Yeah.
Even when it's that quiet out in the woods and there's no wind. So he's like, yeah, what happened was the bear ripped the tent open, and in the night, the kid was sleeping, grabbed the kid by his backpack because he had it still on, and drug him out of the tent. And you could see his claw marks going out of the tent and then right about that time, you hear the neighbor go, hey guys, can you please stop telling ghost stories over there? I have 2 little girls and they cannot go to sleep, and they've been listening to your ghost story. They are very frightened. We started laughing. We go, oh my God, we forgot that people can hear us.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh man, oh, that's so bad. Sorry about that. It's okay, guys. Pretty good ghost story, by the way. You got my wife scared too. I was like,
Man, nothing is more terrifying than a story that's terrifying that is actually plausible. It's like that could actually happen.
you're out in Yellowstone National Park, which luckily we got the week pass because that place is hard to book, hard to get a place. But yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, bears, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Big, grizzly, black bears.
Yeah.
And that's why they have these huge bear boxes for the food.
With a grizzly, you're pretty much, not going to survive. A black bear,
No, I'm kidding.
you might actually be able to survive with a black bear.
Yeah.
But not a grizzly.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a grizzly bear's paw? It's like, I think it's like from my face, like this big.
Yeah.
It's got the, just.
Yeah. No, I haven't actually seen the movie The Revenant.
Oh, I have. With Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh my God, it was so realistic, and the way he just got mauled and well, he
Yeah.
got mauled and he still survived. And the thing about it is, guys, that is a true story.
Mm-hmm.
He got mauled all the way down to his rib cage, and then after the bear was through with him and didn't eat him, he walked off because, like, some bears will see that you're
Yeah, they're territorial.
passed away, yeah, and they will just walk on. And I mean, that's why you always try to scare them off, get them away, act
Right.
bigger, put your claws
Oh,
up.
that's what you can do with a black bear. Can't do that with a grizzly bear.
You go, "Arr," and then he stands
Grizzly
up in
bear
front
is
of you.
just
Oh crap!
right.
He's
So
20
much-
feet tall. No,
so
I'm
much
kidding.
bigger than you that
How tall is a grizzly bear?
compared to a person,
Yeah.
like maybe time and a half as big.
So yeah. So to me, they're about 15 feet tall.
Yeah, about, I think.
Oh,
Like a big one.
yeah, definitely big. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I actually was camping once and I had a dream about that.
a bear attacking
Yeah,
you?
and it was a super realistic dream. Like, the dream was I was in my tent where I had actually gone to sleep, and then a bear like tears the tent open and drags me out into the forest, and that has to have been the scariest dream I've ever had.
Were you like terrified to go camping ever again?
No, of course not. But
Dude,
I'm
my-
not sure when was the last time I've been camping.
we need to go camping
Yeah,
and bring you with us, guys, on our camping trip, or video the whole thing and bring it back and say, this is where Deep Think fell in the fire. No, I'm joking.
this is where Dusty got attacked by a bear.
Oh my God. Or a skunk. That's so funny. I remember being so scared of the skunk when it came into our camp one time when my dad, my brother, and I were all camping.
Mm.
And my dad's just sitting there. Oh, don't worry about that. That's just a skunk. It'll be okay. I'm like, I don't want it spraying me.
Right. I mean, as long as you don't startle it and make it think you're attacking it or anything,
Well,
it should be fine.
He was just hanging around the picnic table where we had all the hot dogs and the food and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just hungry.
He's just hungry. So, all right. What else should we talk about?
Have you had any other unusual experiences besides your brand new ghost?
Yes, I have. We can talk about that, but it's going to go back to your terror.
Oh no.
Yeah. Deep things, terror. It's like deep things, terror.
Are we talking about more bears?
We're not talking about bears. We're talking about ghosts.
Oh. good.
Okay, so we're talking about shadow people.
Oh, right.
Yes. So, yeah, this is what I experienced one time. I was helping my father clean out, or actually burn down, an old barn. It has been there since like 1800s. I mean, it was old. And my dad's like, we got to burn down this barn because it's scary and it's haunted and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, really? Because I'm not really scared of ghosts. I'm really not. And I said, okay, let's burn it down. So he burned it down. We poured diesel all over this huge 2-story barn. And we're out in like, out in the middle of nowhere on a farm. So there's nobody, and there's 86 acres all around us. So it's pretty secluded. So he's like, let's burn down this barn. So we burned it down, and wow, talk about a hot fire. I was just like, wow. So after we burned down the barn, we cleaned up, that took about a few hours to burn down. Burned that down. We cleaned up the property, and then, okay, I was young and stupid. Okay, before I tell the rest of the story, so I decided to go into and look at my girlfriend at the time had a witchcraft book, and it was a true witchcraft book, and she got it I don't know where she got it at a garage sale or something like that.
Ouija
And
boards and stuff like that.
what's that?
Potions.
It had potions and things that you do to invite certain things in your world to bring out scary spirits and that's your face. Like so funny. So yeah, so we went in this witchcraft book and trust me, I want to experience everything. I want to see if this stuff really works, voodoo and witchcraft and stuff like that. So it was new to me. I think it was in my 20s. Or yeah, I was in my 20s. So so we got this book out, and it says how to invite the shadow people in your world. So what you do is you draw these. It was something in the book where you draw these symbols on pieces of paper. You fold them up and you put them in each corner of the room, and then you say this certain chant for like 5 minutes, inviting the shadow people into the room. Am I scaring you there, Deep Think? Ooh. So, yeah, so you invite the shadow people in the room. And so I did that. And then I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, there's no shadow people here. I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, there's no shadow people. So that night, we had been sanding down that room, of course, sanding down the floors to revarnish and redo the wood floors in the house. So we couldn't sleep in the house because we're renovating it. So we slept out in the camper, my father's camper. And we get out in the camper, and we start to go to sleep. And I went to sleep. Well, not all the way sleep. I was starting to go to sleep. I heard a noise. And I looked up. I looked over. And I saw this. At first, I thought it was just a ball cap. I saw this person look like an old farmer with a ball cap on, sitting sideways, like the profile, ball cap coming out at the entrance of the camper, just sitting there, sitting down on the side because we had seats on each side, and then you had the door in the middle. So sat down, and I looked over, and then as I looked at it, it was sitting there in that pose, and it never moved. And then I was like, oh, I must be like asleep or something.
Right,
like
it's
that.
like one of those tricks of the eye where it's just like a shadow of a coat.
Yeah, I didn't
and
even
like a hanger,
yeah,
like a hat laid on top of it or something.
And I don't get scared that easily, so I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, this is just stupid. I got over being scared of the dark. Little kid, I'll tell you after how I got scared, how I got over scared of the dark. So I laid my head back down, breathe. Then I was like, man, I'm going to look over there again to see if it's right there. So I turned over, and there it was.
Oh,
right
no.
in front of me. I could see through it. I could see the silhouette of the cap, and it was a round hat. Okay? It was a perfectly round hat with a thing on top.
That's like straight out of a horror movie scene.
Oh, yeah, but I could see through it. But I could see the silhouette of it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's what I saw way over there. And I reached out for it, and my hand just went through it. And then it just went, and it faded away.
Whoa.
And I was like, I woke up my girlfriend. I'm not going to say any names. Woke up my girlfriend. I said, you would not believe what I just saw. And she goes, no, well, I didn't see anything, and this and that. And then I blew it off. But I continued, and then I looked up shadow people, and I looked up guy with a hat. That is the main shadow person.
Like
the one that
Man?
leads the shadow people. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding, Deep Think. It is the lead shadow person that leads all the shadow spirits. So I got visited by the main one.
The head honcho.
The head honcho. He was like, hey, you want to be part of my team?
I heard you called me.
Heard you called me.
What do you want?
What do you want? Oh, okay. You're just wasting my time. I'm just going to fade away.
Don't do that again.
I wish I had a little fade button that could fade me out of this.
Right.
But yeah, So I didn't think about it. I went back to my house. I traveled another 200 miles, went back home, didn't think about it. I'm driving one day at nighttime. And I'm just like looking at cars, going, passing by me. I'm usually the slow driver, so I don't try to break the laws when I'm driving. So
He drives like a granny.
yeah. So I was driving along in my car, and I look in the rearview mirror, and there it is again. Cars had their lights in back of me,
Right.
and there's the silhouette of the hat and the shoulders sitting in my back seat. I was like, oh my God. And this continued to happen to me for years.
Jeez.
And I was like, I got to the point where I knew that even if I saw them, they wouldn't hurt me.
Right.
It never merely made me fear, because shadow people feed off of fear,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't scared. So it took a long time. I had to literally meditate myself out of seeing them anymore, and then I didn't see them anymore. And I haven't seen them to this day. But you know how I got over my fear of the darkness, and how I got over being scared of anything? I mean, I'm pretty smart. I'm not going to go jump in the ocean and get bit
Right.
by a shark.
There's logical fears that you
it-
want to hold on to.
It doesn't mean I'm scared of sharks. They're very beautiful. They're very beautiful animals. But I'm not going to go into an area where I cannot see anything and just jump in and swim. I'm going to always wear flippers and goggles and everything else to
those flip flops will protect you from those sharks.
Oh yeah. Let's just use those flip flops. See how fast we can swim.
Sharks hate flip flops.
Oh, they hate flip flops. They're allergic to them. Makes them sneeze in the water.
Right. They hate that floppy sound.
Exactly. But yeah. So what I did is I've got smartness about. It's not really fear. It's just being smart on not making those kind of decisions. Like, in other words, I'm not scared of the burner on the stove. I'm just not going to put my hand on because I don't want to get burned.
Right.
It's common sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so back to my story. I think I'm 7 years old or 8 years old at this point. I always would jump. And my brother told me another story that, oh man, it's worse than this one, but it was actually something that did happen. So, but I'll tell you this first. So I always get in my room, and my mom always loved like scary movies, like, Halloween, Michael Myers with the black eyes and the,
Right. Yeah.
So, I would get in my room after watching a scary movie, because we used to like grip onto my mom's legs, my sister and I, just like, we would walk with the legs. Get off me, kids. And she'd always do like, watch out,
Yeah.
to scare us during the movie. So I'm getting into my room, and I'm scared to go to sleep because like I'm all scared of the dark and everything. So I shut off my light and I jumped to my bed. I always would jump to my bed.
Well, yeah, the monsters will grab your ankles.
Yeah,
if
they
you don't.
grab my ankles.
Obviously.
Exactly. So I jumped to my bed, and I laid there, and I'm sitting there for 2 hours with the covers over my head, and I still cannot go to sleep. And I just said, I am tired of feeling like this, because everybody made fun of me with being scared. So being scared of the dark and monsters and stuff. And if anybody that knows Dusty Neal, I don't like being made fun of. I'll prove them wrong in a second. I'll show you that I'm not scared really fast, and I'll even do it 10 times more to show you that I've made a tradition and part of my routine. They'd be like, you crazy. But so I'm laying there, and I got tired of being scared, and I finally get off my bed, I lay my feet down, and I go, if those monsters are going to grab my ankles, they're going to grab them. I'm tired of it. And not only did I not turn on the lights, I walked straight to my dark closet, opened the door with my clothes in the dark. And that's the worst monster area, right?
The closet monster.
A closet monster, yeah. He'll just start throwing clothes on you in hats and say, you can wear this, and this too, and this will make you look. No, I'm joking.
He'll pull you into the closet, and you'll never be
He'll
seen
dress me
again.
in women's clothing. No, I'm joking. I run out, Mom, we got a dress on. So I got in my closet, I shut the door, and I sat there. And I was so scared. I was so scared that I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm shivering scared. And I'm going to sit here until I'm not scared anymore. I sat in that closet for almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
I thought it was 4 hours last time I told you this. But it's like, I think it was like 3 hours. And after 3 hours, I just wasn't scared anymore.
Yeah.
I felt my clothes in my closet. It touched the walls. And then my mind started thinking of, oh, wait, I've seen construction of houses, so I know those boards are there. I know how the walls are shaped. And I probably didn't think back then that was sheetrock, because I probably didn't know what sheetrock was, or even 2x4s, but I just knew what I saw. And I go, that's just a normal house. This is my door. And my eyes adjusted so much that the light that was coming from my other door was actually illuminating my room to where I could see underneath my closet door. So it was like this darkness had lifted.
Yep. It's actually called exposure therapy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So basically, you address your fears directly, and then when nothing bad happens to you over a long period of time, you're like, oh, why was I afraid of this? I'm acting ridiculous.
Exactly. I mean, I always say, if you ever have a fear, I was talking to one of my other friends, and she's afraid of clowns.
Yep. That's a valid thing to be afraid of. Absolutely.
I got the perfect thing for you, Deep Think.
What?
Let me show you something really fast. Okay. Let me show you something really fast. I just sent this video over, and let me guess. You hate it, don't you? Stephen King, It? Pennywise, whatever his name is?
Yeah, Pennywise.
Okay. Well, check out this video. I'm going to show this to you. I don't know if you can see it, but I just sent this video out to one of my friends that's afraid of clowns also. This is Pennywise on the movie set saying hi to all the kids. Okay? Hey, guys. Oh, let me turn my back on again. Turned it off. All right, here we go. Hey, guys. You ready to beat the shit out of me? Oh, it said the S word. We got to beat that out.
Yeah.
But look at it.
That's cute.
It's Pennywise high-fiving. I don't know if you can see it on the thing. It's Pennywise high-fiving all the kids that came on the movie with him. Like, hey, guys, how you doing? You guys ready to beat the poop out of me? So, I mean, yeah, you're right. You should fight your fears, but at the same time, you should... Hang on one second, get me set back up again. So at the same time, you should also watch things that have clowns in them, or watch movies that have monsters in them, and then go and watch the cut scenes. Like when I saw Michael Myers, I was scared of Michael Myers for years. I was deathly afraid of Michael Myers. And what I did is, I would see Michael Myers everywhere. I go camping. I'd see his face in the leaves, the shape of the leaves, sitting there looking at me.
Oh, man.
Like that.
He's in the bushes.
He's in the bushes.
Waiting for you.
And you gotta understand, my dad was a hunter, a really average, what would be an extreme, like he hunts all the time. Extreme hunter, I guess, who goes hunting all the time. And so I'd be on camping trips all the time, and it would get nighttime, and I would see Michael Myers' face.
An avid hunter.
Average, what is it?
Avid
hunter. That's why I was about to say average. He's not average. He's a good shot. He taught me how to be a good shot too. But avid hunter. And so I'd see Michael Myers everywhere. So I got tired of being scared, and I was scared of Michael Myers for like 10 years. Just like my friend is scared of clowns. And I got tired of it. So you know what I did?
Dressed up as him for Halloween?
I did. I became Michael Myers. I wish I had the video. I would show it to you. Maybe I'll show it to you on another show. But I dressed up like Michael Myers, and do I have a story for you? So we decorated the whole porch perfectly. I had dry ice for Halloween. Dry ice flowing onto the porch, off the porch. We had scary music playing up in the light. It's one of those Bluetooth light things. It was purple or black light. and it would play music out of it. So we had the scariest music. We had the whole yard decorated in spider webs and spiders and creepy, and even a Michael Myers on the. What are you trying to point out to me?
Time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I've been paying attention to that. So, messing up my story. I'm joking. So we had all these decorations and everything. And my neighbor came up with his kid, his son. And first, what was weird is no kids would come up to the porch at all. I kept looking out the window going, and then I'd see the parents come by and go, let's pull my kids over here. You know, they were like scared to walk up to the porch. And I was like, oh my God, I got it too scary. So I did change it. I put on like, what's the Halloween with Jack? What is the Halloween? This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween.
Oh, yeah. The Nightmare
Before Christmas. Yes. So I put on that music, and suddenly the parents started coming into the porch, and because I had plenty of candy and everything. So I open up the door. My neighbor's there with his son. He's like, trick or treat. And I looked at him with my Michael Myers mask and leaned towards him, and you could hear this.
Oh, gross.
I was like, here you go, son. And I just kind of filled his thing up, his little bucket up and everything else. And as he backed up, you could start to smell it. Mm-hmm. And his dad goes, I think my son might have pooped his pants. I go, wow, look at that. I scared the poop out of a child. Oh my God. Oh, Deep Think. This is why I love you, man. This is why I love you. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming in for story time. Well, we got another 2 minutes left, and we will be good. But oh, man, you are hilarious. So what would you like to end? What is something you would like to tell our viewers? Or maybe we should just go with what we always tell our viewers.
Sure.
Okay. Guys, live life to the fullest. Don't let things get you down. Always be true to yourself and true to others. Always believe in yourself 100%. Don't live by society's rules. Don't let society live your life for you. You live your life. Always make your life a safe haven and safe for everyone else. Work your hardest. Practice on thoughtfulness, and also what's the other word? Self-reflection. Yes. And also live by example for others to follow. And always, what's the other word I love so much? Selflessness. Practice selflessness, and live in the moment with life. Don't think about tomorrow, because you can't control tomorrow. Don't think about yesterday, because you can't do anything about that either. Right now, you're living in this moment with Dusty Neal and Deep Think. And just remember, we're always here for you. And if you would like to call in, we do take phone calls. And also, you can discuss anything that you would like to discuss. Or you could make suggestions of what you would like to hear on the Deep Think and Dusty Neal show. Did you like how I switched it around?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
So, guys, remember this. Live by example for others to follow. Practice selflessness. Meditate, do some yoga, relax, treat others like you want to be treated, and be good to each other.
Do all the good stuff.
Yes, all the good stuff. And don't forget anything. Tell your mom and dad that you love them. You don't know how long they're going to be around. All right, guys, we love you. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dusty Neal, and this is
Deep Think.
We will see you next time. Bye, guys. Peace out.